All right, let's get into it. Today, we're diving deep into the wild, surprisingly painful, and frankly, incredible science of getting rid of something that was designed to be permanent: a tattoo. You know that feeling, right? You glance at some ink you got years ago, maybe a tribute to a band you don't even listen to anymore, or a name you'd kind of rather forget. If you've ever had that little moment of cringe, trust me, you are in very, very good company. 25 million. Just let that number sink in. That's how many people in the US alone regret getting a tattoo. That works out to about 1 in every 4 people with ink. It's this massive shared experience of wanting to find the undo button for your own skin. And the process of hitting that undo button, well, it's not some gentle fade-out cream. As this quote puts it so perfectly, it's a high-tech, intense, and fascinating procedure where parts of your skin literally explode from the inside out. So how on earth does that actually work? Let's find out. Okay, so before we can really get how to destroy a tattoo, we have to understand why it's so ridiculously stubborn in the first place. What makes it permanent? It really all comes down to perspective. See, to your body's immune system, those microscopic particles of ink that a needle shoves in there, they aren't just tiny specks of color. No, they are seen as gigantic foreign objects, like a whole mountain range of colorful boulders that have been lodged deep inside you. And your body immediately tries to fight back, of course. It sends in the immune cells to get rid of these invaders, but they run into a huge problem. They're just too small. They literally can't wrap themselves around and carry away these massive ink particles. It'd be like you trying to eat a car. It's just not going to happen. So since your body can't get rid of the ink, it does the next best thing. It contains it. Your cells swarm the ink particles and build a living wall around them, creating a little prison of flesh. And when these tiny prison guard cells die off, new ones just take their place, locking that ink in forever. That right there, that's what makes a tattoo permanent. So if our own bodies can't get the job done, we've got to call in the heavy artillery. And that brings us to the weapon of choice for modern tattoo removal: the laser.
Now, what's so brilliant about this is how precise this weapon is. Think of it like this. Your skin is like clear jello, and the tattoo ink is like dark little crumbs inside it. A laser is a special kind of light that passes right through the clear jello, but gets completely absorbed by the dark crumbs. We use specific colors of light that pretty much ignore your skin cells, but get soaked up by specific colors of ink. That's why you need a green laser to zap red ink, and why black ink, which absorbs all light, is actually the easiest to get rid of. But here's the real game changer, the tech that makes this possible without just burning a hole in your arm. See, early lasers were a continuous beam, basically a ray of death that just cooked your skin and the ink together. Horrible. The modern solution, though, is the ultra-short pulse laser. It fires this incredibly brief little packet of energy, so fast that it hits, heats, and shatters the ink particle before the skin around it even has time to react. It's pure precision. Okay, get ready, because now we're zooming in, like way in. We're going to slow down time to a billionth of a second to witness the microscopic war that erupts the moment that laser pulse makes contact. What happens next is just an astonishingly violent chain reaction. That pulse of photons, tiny packets of light energy, zips right through your skin. In just 1 nanosecond, the ink particles soak up all that energy. By nanosecond 2, they are superheated. By nanosecond 3, they just can't take the stress anymore and they violently explode. And a moment later, that intense heat creates a shockwave of steam that tears through all the surrounding tissue. It is pure chaos. How hot does it get exactly? We're talking 600 degrees Celsius. To put that in perspective, that's hot enough to make solid iron glow bright red. And all of this is happening inside your skin in a fraction of a second. And all that intense heat has another major effect. The water that's inside and all around your cells instantly vaporizes. It flashes into steam, expanding with incredible force, creating these microscopic but powerful bubbles of hot gas. This rapid expansion generates its own shockwave, causing even more damage to those cells that were holding the ink prisoner. So, let's bring all that microscopic carnage back to the real world. What do you, the person, actually experience? Well, you feel a sharp pain. A lot of people say it's like a rubber band snapping against your skin, but way worse. You'll smell something a bit like burnt hair, and maybe most unsettling of all, you can actually hear a loud cracking sound as those ink particles literally explode. And you'll see something really weird too. The tattooed skin instantly turns a ghostly white,
This is called frosting, and it's the direct visual proof of those hot gas bubbles we were talking about expanding right underneath the surface of your skin before they eventually collapse and disappear. Okay, so the laser's job is over. It was the demolition team. It came in, blew everything up, and now it's gone. Now your body has to deal with all the wreckage. It's time to call in the cleanup crew, your own amazing immune system. The whole process is just remarkable. First, your body triggers inflammation, so the area gets all swollen as fluid rushes in. Then, these specialized immune cells called macrophages show up. They're basically the garbage collectors of your body. They start gobbling up the newly shattered, now bite-sized fragments of ink. Finally, they carry all that debris away to your lymph nodes where it gets processed and flushed out of your system. So get this, the laser doesn't actually remove the ink. It just smashes it into tiny pieces so your body can do the real work. But, and this is a really big but, there's a catch. In any one session, the laser can't possibly shatter every single particle. A lot of the fragments are still too big for those macrophages to eat. So what does your body do? The exact same thing it did before. It builds a new prison of flesh around what's left. And that right there is the single biggest reason why you can't remove a tattoo in just one go. You have to keep going back, maybe 5, maybe 12 times, to repeatedly blast those ink boulders into pebbles and then into sand, until it's all small enough for your body to finally carry away. So all of that microscopic chaos, how does that translate to what you actually see and feel on your skin? Let's walk through the healing journey, from what is essentially a fresh wound to hopefully clear skin.
The aftermath is really like treating a very specific, controlled burn. For the first few hours, it's just gonna feel like a really bad sunburn. Then comes swelling, redness, and sometimes some pretty gnarly blisters. After that, get ready for some intense itching, which is actually a good sign. It means your immune cells are hard at work. After about a week, it'll crust over and start to peel. And the amazing part is, even weeks later, the tattoo keeps fading as your body is still busy cleaning up the last of that ink debris.
So the million-dollar question, will it be completely gone? Well, the honest answer is, it depends. A whole bunch of things play a role, like the tattoo size, its age, the colors that were used, even how deep the original artist went. And at the end of the day, a lot of it just comes down to how efficient your own immune system is at doing its cleanup job. And there you have it, a microscopic war of light, heat, explosions, and cellular cleanup crews, all happening inside your body just to erase a story that was written in ink. It really makes you think. With that space now clear, what story is your skin going to tell next?